Part of the inflation number you keep hearing about is not really inflation. 4/10 of the yearly rise in core inflation came from one thing that is not costing you a single extra dollar. Stay with me because once you see it, you can't unsee it. I'm Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. This is your weekend update for the week of July 10th, 2026. Here's the thing hiding in plain sight. A big piece of the recent rise in core inflation did not come from prices going up on the things you buy. It came from portfolio management fees. In fact, portfolio management fees accounted for 0.4% of the year-over-year rise in core inflation. That is a large chunk from one line item. Here's why it matters to you. When your investment account grows, the 1% fee on that account grows too. That larger fee gets counted as inflation, but it's not hurting you. Your account went up. That's the happiest money you'll ever pay. If inflation gets measured correctly, some of the fear in the headlines may turn out smaller than it sounds, and a fix may be coming. The new Fed chair just put 5 teams to work, and one of them is taking a hard look at exactly this kind of data. The most recent Fed note showed a group that could not agree. Some wanted to hold rates steady. Others wanted to raise them. They all voted to wait, and waiting may be the theme for a while because those findings are not due until the end of the year. Now here's this week's real story. For 3 months, oil prices and mortgage rates moved almost as one. Then in June, they split apart. This week, they came back together. When the ceasefire overseas was called off, oil prices jumped and rates followed them higher. Why does that matter for your home loan? Because when oil rises, worries about inflation rise, and rates tend to rise with them. Oil is the wild card right now. So which way do rates go from here? At the moment, they're drifting sideways in a narrow range, near their highest levels in about 10 months. If the news overseas calms down, buyers of bonds tend to come back and rates could ease. If it gets worse, rates could push higher. The markets have now closed for the week. The 10-year Treasury finished higher than where it started, ending the week near 4.56%. A week ago, it was 4.49%. So yields moved up. Here's where mortgage rates landed. The 30-year conventional, 6.65%. The 30-year jumbo, 6.82%. The 30-year FHA is 6.23%, and the 30-year VA is 6.625%. These are national averages from Mortgage News Daily, not an offer to lend. What about the housing market? Existing home sales in June came in soft, down 2.4% for the month. But look closer, and there are bright spots. The middle price home that sold hit a record high. First-time buyers made up 33% of sales, close to a multi-year high. And homes for sales are still in short supply. Once you set aside the homes already under contract, there are only about 1.1 million active listings. Tight supply keeps a floor under home values. If you own a home, that's good news to keep in mind. Here's something worth knowing if your tax returns do not tell the full story of what you can truly afford to borrow and repay. We have a selection of loan programs built for exactly that situation. This week, we're highlighting the DSCR loan. With this one, your property and the income it produces can qualify the loan instead of leaning only on what shows up on your tax return. If you own income property, this is worth a look. Get the details at rsrlinks.com/DSCR. That's rsrlinks.com/DSCR. Because strategy beats rate always. We also shared several articles for you this week. A few worth your time. Number 1, a Trump account isn't a baby perk. It's a retirement account with a head start, and it's not just for babies. Number 2, billionaires could pay cash. They take mortgages anyway. Here's the math. Number 3, the 5 money basics schools never taught you cost you thousands every year. And finally, number 4, new rule, starter homes go to families first. Wall Street gets a waiting list. That's the new housing report that's just going into a law. There are more on the dashboard than the ones I just listed. You'll find them all along with the DSCR loan details on the right side of your dashboard or below the video, depending on the device you're using. KeySteps is a free platform offering credit monitoring, identity theft protection, and household budgeting tools all in one place. Visit rsrlinks.com/keysteps for your household. Next week brings some real market movers. Tuesday morning brings the Consumer Price Index, our next read on inflation. And the market is hoping for a friendlier number. The new Fed chair also speaks to Congress Tuesday, again on Wednesday, so watch for clues on where rates are headed. Then Thursday, we get retail sales, which shows how comfortable people feel about spending. That is your weekend update. We appreciate you listening, and we'll speak to you again next week.